everyone, welcome to video number 2 in class 14. We are now moving on, we're talking about area. So we were talking about perimeter, that was the distance around something. Now we're talking about area, the amount of material to cover a surface, right? So you see my little square there on the board, we're looking for the amount of space inside that square. And now our answers will be in square inches, square feet, square centimeters, square meters. So you have the inch with the little 2, that represents square inches, and so on and so forth. You may see it written out, like in words, square inches, square feet, square centimeters, or square meters. Okay? The main thing, the absolutely positively the main thing when we're working with area, you must convert all your numbers to the same units before you use one of these formulas. I'm quite confident, we've been doing converting since the get-go, so here we go. We're hoping you know how to do it. The first formula, area of a square, side squared, that's just side times side. Area of a rectangle is length times width. The circle is pi r squared. So pi times radius, and remember your radius is always half your diameter. For the triangle, we have base times height divided by 2. And then we have a trapezoid. It seems complicated, it's really not. Base plus base times the height divided by 2. So you see what's in parentheses there? That means you have to do that operation first. And the big B and the little b, you can see by my picture, the big B just represents the longer side, the smaller b is the shorter side there, okay? The next one is super important. It's the semicircular sided tank again. Remember the hockey rink shape or the racetrack shape? Okay? What you have to remember in this, that the width and the diameter are at the same dimension. And the formula for that is pi r squared. And when you do this, you'll hit equals and you'll write that number down. And then you will do the other side of the formula. Length times width, you'll write that number down, and then you will add them together. I have faith. Next, surface area. The sum of the areas of all the faces of the surfaces. These formulas might look a little overwhelming to you, but don't worry about it, we'll get there. The first one here, surface area of an enclosed square or rectangular tank. But I want everyone to remember when we're doing this, these parentheses, you always do length times width, and then times it by 2. Then you would write that number down. Then you would do length times height and times it by 2, and then width times height and times it by 2. Okay? Next one, a cylindrical tank with one end open. Pi r squared plus pi times diameter times height. And the last one, a cylindrical tank totally enclosed. 2 times pi times radius times radius. You would write that number down. And then it would be pi times diameter times height. And then again, you would add those two together, okay? They look a little daunting, but if you slow down and convert your numbers first, you'll be okay. Well, only one other thing I'm going to talk about. Is that on there? Okay, I'm going to talk about square inches to square foot. Before we've been talking about 12 inches in a foot. Now that we're dealing in area, there is 144 square inches per square foot. And that number just comes from 12 times 12. Because again, we're not looking for the distance around something, we're looking for what's inside of the shape. Okay? So, to convert square inches, could be written out like this, to square feet, we would times by 144. Square feet to square inches, we would divide by 144. So, when we get into working out these problems, which we're going to do in the next video, if you convert your numbers first, you won't need to do this conversion at the end. So that's why we do need to know this, but we need to convert the numbers first. Okay, next up video, we're going to do some sample problems. See you then.